Johnny Somali threatened a judge and his mother.
First thing, let's recap where we left off.
Shout out North Korea. Shout out Pyongyang. Shout out Kim Jong-un. That's my nigga till the day I die. National Intelligence Security Charges. Anybody know what the that means?
Yo,
Somali say something.
Culture defines who we are. History is the spirit that molds a nation. It's not a relic of the past, but the heartbeat that fuels our pride, a living thread binding millions through the ages. It is so sacred that no one, not even leaders of global superpowers, would dare to show it disrespect. Ramzi Khalid Ismail, better known online as Johnny Somali, trampled on those values time and again, with arrogance as boundless as it was unforgivable. As a Somali myself, I feel compelled to apologize to the people of Japan. He is from the Oromo ethnic group of Ethiopia, and yet he has carried out hateful, malicious acts while dragging our name through the mud. He deserves to be behind bars. Calling himself a borderless provocateur, Johnny Somali built an audience of thousands through chaotic live streams where he hurled insults at strangers, secretly recorded women, flouted local laws, and labeled it all as entertainment art. From the crowded streets of Tokyo to the storied landmarks of Seoul, he turned every setting into a stage for disorder and disrespect. But when the cameras stopped rolling, the so-called entertainer became something else entirely, a criminal defendant. The very clips that once drew laughs from his viewers became damning evidence in court. Japan deported him. South Korea handed down a staggering 31-year prison sentence, the longest ever given to a streamer. And even then, some would argue, it's still not enough. Even the people of Somalia, his homeland, refused to welcome him back. How could someone turn attention into a weapon of self-destruction, all for a few fleeting views and donations? This isn't just the story of one man's downfall. It's a warning, a wake-up call about the toxic content that's celebrated, shared, and even paid for every single day online. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on his entire journey, from the days when Johnny Somali was seen as a controversial internet phenomenon, to the moment he became the ultimate cautionary tale for live streaming. But first, we go back to where it all began, when his arrogance was still mistaken for entertainment. Is dropping Discord right now. Hop in Discord. All you have to say is stop. Music. Ramadan Abdullah Jr., better known as Johnny Somali, started his live streaming career in 2021 with a provocative IRL style, roaming the streets, confronting strangers, and constantly pushing social boundaries with offensive stunts. From picking fights and hurling insults at passers-by, to deliberately staging drama just to go viral, Johnny's antics quickly earned him attention on Twitch, YouTube, and later Kick. His so-called fearless persona helped him amass around 50,000 Twitch followers by 2023, along with millions of views from short-clipped videos. But it wasn't admiration that fueled him, it was backlash. The more people hated him, the more he thrived. Johnny became addicted to outrage, building entire streams around provoking crowds and escalating conflicts. To keep the drama alive, he expanded his antics beyond the U.S., branding himself as a travel content creator. But in truth, he was a chaos tourist wandering from country to country, secretly filming, and deliberately disrespecting local cultures for views. He turned outrage into currency, creating a form of hate-driven content where moral boundaries didn't matter, as long as the payoff was big enough. But like a double-edged sword, that strategy began to turn on him. As American audiences grew desensitized to his behavior, Johnny shifted his focus to international targets, especially Asian countries like Japan, where he assumed politeness and cultural restraint would let him get away with more. Ironically, the place he thought would be his safest stage became the one that pushed him to the brink. When he landed in Japan in 2023, his sole mission was chasing views at any cost, turning live streaming platforms into arenas for offensive spectacle. It didn't take long for outrage to follow. One of his most infamous incidents happened in August 2023, on a Tokyo subway. Drunk and live streaming, Johnny began confronting a Japanese passenger. He started by bringing up Pearl Harbor, clearly aiming to provoke the man sitting nearby. When his target didn't react, in keeping with Japan's culture of avoiding open conflict, Johnny switched tactics. In an exaggerated, mocking Asian accent, he shouted, "Hiroshima, Nagasaki, you know what we did to you. You don't know how to behave. I swear to God, if you don't act right, We'll do it again. Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, you know what we do to you. Hiroshima, Nagasaki, we destroy it. These weren't just careless words, they were a direct strike at one of Japan's deepest wounds, the 1945 atomic bombings that claimed hundreds of thousands of lives and left scars that will never fade. The clip spread like wildfire across social media, not only in Japan but around the world, fueling outrage on a scale rarely seen. Even people from Johnny's own homeland condemned him. A Japanese American who's lived in Japan for 35 years posted on X, "As an American in Japan, I find him disgraceful. He deserves 3 years in jail, the maximum fine, and deportation. Prison time is the only way he'll learn his lesson." A Somali native echoed the sentiment. "I apologize to the Japanese people. He's Oromo, from Ethiopia, but he's done countless toxic things under the Somali name. Lock him up." But Johnny didn't back down. Instead, he escalated, mocking Japanese people as NPCs, implying they were lifeless video game characters, and bragging, "The more people hate me, the more views I get, the more money I make." During a live stream in Osaka, he confronted popular female streamer Mo, sneering, "Oh, a pretty streamer, on Kick, 2,000 views. I only got 1,300. Then, on her own stream, he trashed the Kick platform so relentlessly that she broke down in tears and ended the broadcast. This single incident ignited fury across Japan's online community, where Mo was widely adored. From there, Johnny's actions crossed the line from personal attacks to provoking an entire nation. Major outlets like Asahi Shimbun and Mainichi Shimbun branded him a history-offending foreigner. Wherever he appeared, he was confronted, booed, shouted at, even physically shoved, with one demand echoing everywhere: apologize. Eventually, he issued what he called an apology. "I don't hate Japan. I said hurtful things by mistake, though it was a long time ago. I came here to party and meet Japanese girls. I want to enjoy Japan. I want to go to the club, party, and have a good time." But instead of calming the outrage, his half-hearted tone mixed with crude comments only made things worse. He even blamed his audience, saying they paid him to misbehave. "Does he think we're children?" one former viewer scoffed. Then came his most brazen move yet, tearing up a Japanese flag, shouting F*** Japan, and posting images of atomic bomb destruction. The breaking point arrived in September 2023, when he disrupted an Osaka restaurant and was arrested for obstructing business. By December, prosecutors recommended a 200,000 yen fine. On January 10, 2024, Johnny was convicted and deported. Many saw it as far too light. One online comment summed it up: "He should have been jailed. Pity those who had to meet him in person." His days of streaming chaos in Japan were over, but as one ex-viewer warned, the word fear isn't in his dictionary. They were right. Just months later, Johnny resurfaced in South Korea, and this time, the trouble would be far worse. After arriving in Seoul in September 2024, he picked up exactly where he'd left off. Public buses, subways, crowded streets all became his stage. He shouted slurs like Chinese virus, Huawei, and speak English, I don't speak Korean, deliberately provoking strangers while live streaming their reactions. Then came the first major scandal. Johnny swayed to Batatai, an imperial Japanese military march, while giving a Roman salute and shouting, "Korea, go fight Japan." It was more than offensive, it was a deliberate stab at one of the most painful shared histories between the two countries. But the outrage truly exploded on October 7, 2024, when Johnny kissed a Comfort Woman statue, a sacred memorial to Korean women forced into sexual slavery during World War II, and proclaimed, "I support Koreans. I love Korea. Everything I did in Japan was for Koreans and Chinese. I stand with the Korean people." For many, it felt like he had torn open an old wound, one that will never fully heal. Undeterred, Johnny went even further, printing out photos of himself kissing the statue and handing them to passers-by. That was the last straw. One furious man confronted him on a live stream, attacking him on camera. The clip spread like wildfire, marking a turning point. From that moment, South Koreans no longer saw him as just a loud troublemaker, he was now viewed as a public menace who needed to be stopped. Under mounting pressure, Johnny released an apology on November 6, 2024. "I want to apologize to the Korean people. I didn't know the statue's significance. I was just trying to create entertaining content. But the public wasn't buying it." The half-hearted, performative apology only made things worse. Rather than stepping back, Johnny doubled down with bizarre and infuriating stunts, lugging a bag of rotten fish through Seoul's busy streets, dumping instant noodles on a convenience store counter after being refused alcohol, and even sprinting around in his underwear, shouting, "Call the police, I'm Johnny Somali." It was as if he was deliberately taunting the entire nation. Major newspapers condemned his antics, while online communities actively tracked his movements, with some even offering a bounty of 1 million won, roughly $750 US, for his location.